This video is sponsored by one of my personal favorite services, Rocket Money. More on them after the reaction, people. What is going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We are marveled up. You could get this at rejectnationshop.com. By the all of them we're wearing.
Everything.
I was
totally dead. Greg got me shirts for Christmas.
Oh my God, we are actually wearing the brand. What is happening here?
Must be a good one.
Anyway, guys, we're at the Echo finale. Loved episode 4. I think I speak for all of us as that being our favorite of the 4 that we had watched. Let's just see what happens. All right, let's see what happens. Episode 5. I am very hopeful right now. As I'm sure all three of us are. I'm really dragging my words here. Leave a like on this video, and while you're doing that, tell us in the comments, what did you think of the finale? Did it land well for you?
Did it meet your expectations?
He's trying
Cameo.
X-Men or Echo?
Easter egg.
Prepper, thank you for helping us set this down. Full-length retro watch along secret with your own copy of Echo, available for Super Sex Rejects at our Patreon page. Thank you to all who have joined just to watch Echo with us. We cover several things over there, exclusive with highlights and watch logs included. All right, let's do it.
Ain't nothing bad gonna happen today.
It's the bird.
Oh,
It's the bird. It come back for you, Coy.
I gotta know what he is.
It's a woodpecker.
Is it a woodpecker this whole time?
It's Woody Woodpecker.
It looks like he's woodpecking. All right. No, don't do it. We like him.
Ah.
Yeah. How does it feel? Sorrow? You feel sad? Feel bad about it?
I think a lot of the Echo fanboys has just gone away now.
No longer like this show. They just killed a precious little woodpecker. Yeah. Wonder who did that. Learning lying.
You're a little serial killer, aren't you? The violence has always been in her.
Yeah, that's
even
the origin we're
before.
getting, but I don't like it.
Oh.
It's quality CGI bird they got there.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
Just like your father.
I'm learning about
Consequences. I do that when I hit golf balls outside of the Burger King parking lot.
You can't do this.
Biskinic?
Whoa, like Morse code.
Is that what the bird has been doing this whole episode of the season?
If you speak woodpecker, it ruined the whole plot.
Oh!
What the hell, Maya? You knew about this shit all this time?
This is how we start to cross over the powers of the Mystic to the Day.
Wow.
All it takes is a hashtag.
So it seems like when the mom died, this really severed a connection.
She's probably the best, most compassionate caregiver role model in all of her young life.
And also like a power connection, like from through the ancestry.
Oh, so only 5 writers for a 30-minute episode? Okay.
Great, good sign. They each wrote a sentence.
You're not closed. You're napping, you old billy goat. Hurry on out here. I have to get to work.
Hola. Radiant as the sun shining out of
No,
my...
hush.
Let's hump.
Oh, what can I do you for?
I know it's been a while, but
I'm selling again.
I bought in a sewing machine a few years back. I was just wondering, maybe...
Of course he kept it, you old softy.
Been waiting for this day. That looks like my mom's old one.
Well, when you brought it in, I cleaned it and oiled it. I knew you'd come back for it. I just had to wait.
He's also installed some upgrades.
Yeah, it's got an interface, its own AI. It's made of nanotechnology now.
Promise me you'll come back once in a while.
For the humping.
Playing the long game.
If we don't get a post-credits humping, I'll be very mad.
Yeah, this is now my jet ski, is them humping.
I'll get the door.
You two better just gonna love that turn of phrase.
Hey.
Is that a
They
clip?
know.
They know.
It's PG-13.
I gotta learn
TVMA, the show I'm allowed to say humping.
I learn those actors' names. The both of them are so terrific, and they're vets.
Please let me out.
Oh, thank you.
Are they going to give us some type of Hawkeye ending?
She's gonna shoot him in the other eye.
Haven't seen you around before. You here for the powwow?
Yes.
People come from all over for our Choctaw Nation powwows.
Is that right?
Wonder what that line used to be.
Your necklace. It's American Sign Language. It says I love you.
Oh. You sign?
I try for my niece.
I just started.
I know those 3 words.
I learned for my daughter. She's passed on now.
I've lost someone who I loved. It's the kind of pain you never quite get over.
I keep it up now for my granddaughter.
Oh, his body language is amazing. He's like this clenched fist.
Her name is Maya. She just come in from New York.
Bash her head in.
Yeah. Close your head with those tiny, tiny P.O. boxes.
Everyone shut up.
Rocks on!
Easter egg! Please explain this ending to me. What does it mean? Tell me, someone in comics. Motorcycle, 2 wheels, Xavier confirmed.
Jackal? It's Jackal.
I feel like nothing's happened with the Rocks On world.
No, it's just going to be a
they just
perpetual.
keep throwing rocks on everything.
They could have done something really cool with it with Thor, but there was a plot line right there. It's $1 million contact.
Oh, yeah.
Right over there is general parking with Roger Two Moons. If you just head up.
So I'm gonna pack up down by there so I can enjoy your indigenous fare from afar.
Is he trying to do an Irish accent now?
So if you're a vendor, though, they should have given you a little slip thingy to put up on your dash, because otherwise, if not, then they...
Wow.
Get her after him, biscuits.
Chola should be here by now. Hey, Billy Jack.
Shit.
What did you do, Wilson Fisk?
I hope they didn't hurt Chola. We just talked about our love of her, and that's what you do. You make her great, and then you...
Maya really hasn't done much, though, this season.
Herself?
She blew up a tree.
Warning of danger. Yeah, episode 2.
I really do feel like it needed to be a longer season.
Oh, Kingpin's taking out everybody.
She just went there. The bird. The warning.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
About danger.
It's a good thing we're so invested in Bonnie.
She remembers what the bird means now.
Nice.
Oh, those are always such cool
like those locked off shots. Whoa. Hey.
Yep. This is trimmed out.
I swear this was supposed to be 10 episodes.
I feel like it's definitely supposed to be longer. You can feel the
And I think that's why there are 100 writers on every one.
Oh, Bonnie? Mommy? I looked racist there.
Yep.
Wait a minute. They're all not Bonnie?
But none of you guys corrected me, so you guys probably thought the same shit too.
Yeah, Greg's making sure it's all of us going down with the ship.
I thought you were making a joke.
That's okay.
That word echo.
Yeah.
It's like you guys pointed out last episode.
Oh, that's pretty. I like that
name.
And it matches the blood.
And that, yeah, the
print.
handprint. That's really David Mack, man.
Time for the pain to go. What pain?
This is where the powers manifest.
I like lore that works that way when you have all the ancestors in you.
Cool.
It is like One for All.
It's like the good version of what they did in What If at the end. That's cool.
The ancestors are your infinity stones.
Yeah. Gather your powers. Cool.
Love in every stitch. Now go beat Kingpin's ass.
Where's Bonnie?
She's been kidnapped.
She's with everybody else.
She was just there.
That's so pretty.
The craftsmanship, yeah, is gorgeous. Navajo taco. Wow. This is beautiful.
The culture incorporation feels very natural. It's
feels
beautiful.
like it's part of
I think
the
it's beautiful.
foundation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
the show.
the sense of community they lace throughout is just. And there's a real mood to it. Transcends.
My man. He's great on Res Dogs. He's like a spirit guide.
And also the fact that got actors from those shows makes me think they especially trimmed this show down.
Yeah, no, I can, yeah. Better than some other shows have, but yeah.
Big finale action scene. Let's go.
Gotta happen. Gotta punch the problem.
Show up in your suit. Echo. Show up in that suit.
We got our emotions out the way.
All roads led to this. Fast X. There's the X.
Sing it proud, boys. Let's bring them in, boys. Hoka, hoka, hoka.
Woo. This looks like the same spot where they were playing that game.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ooh.
wow, what an entrance to suddenly make.
Part of the procession.
to be
Surrounded by her
introduced
family.
in this outfit, surrounded by her family.
It's so cool.
With the Choctaw people. That is great.
It's celebration.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that a lot. That was unexpected.
I like that it wasn't a big landing. It was this subtle turn, too.
Oh, and feeling the vibrations.
Yeah, they're
Getting really in tune.
We're going back to like feeling from in her POV.
Go with the rhythm and just be one with the elements.
We're so used to going to hear, listening to her heartbeat, so it's like
That
the
drum.
heart with the drums is a swell of her emotions. I would love for Daredevil to just show up in the middle of the fight.
And just take care of
Just
everything.
be like, I've been watching them all day.
Don't worry, I got this. Got my gun bucket.
I love that the only special effect in the show is a bird.
I want my board.
I'm way more invested in this bird. Whiplash's bird can stay in the past.
Like the show's ability to capture the culture of present day whilst also weaving it into the tension of the situation at hand.
And making a mythology and her powers tying into that.
I'm saying that like having the culture representation without it being like, let's just stop to look.
Yeah.
It's great.
Listen, Biscuit, it's about to get dangerous. Do you have a gun or a weapon?
A weapon?
Oh, I got a weapon.
I got something even better.
What?
What's Biscuit's gonna have?
911.
Yeah, the full fury of the Metropolitan Police Service.
I mean, if Kingpin just gets defeated again, is he just going to show up in every show to get defeated?
Like Kang.
Kingpin.
It's the thing that connects all the universes.
Woof. Woof.
That's Bonnie.
Which one, Kush?
That's her mom. They look alike.
Oh, he knows well enough that she would have thrown the contact away.
He's so terrifying.
Don't throw emotion to that, Bonnie.
Oh, man. I hope he makes it, but I bet he won't.
I think that guy's gonna take him out. It's gonna be a mini boss fight. We have to have that like.
Yeah.
Explain the Choctaw Nation.
Wow.
You're sadistic, man.
Ooh.
There's the confession.
Just in case you forgot.
The power of his work through silence and her reaction and control. That was a great scene.
Crack open a cold one, my dude. I don't know how to sign all this.
Interesting to keep it all in her perspective there. Activate love.
Yes.
Hashtag him to death. Cool.
Oh my God.
Let's get down to business.
Whoa, I didn't even notice
Damn.
that. That's cool.
That's wicked. Go, Midoriya. Oh, damn.
Oh,
Doing
shit.
a little bit of a Thor right now. Oh, well, Chula at least definitely has it, but I guess they all must have some kind of connection to it.
None of them had guns.
That's what Biscuits has.
Bisc. Oh my God, yes!
Take out the cavalry biscuits.
Monster Jam! Monster Jam 2024! Yeah. Silence that thing up. Oh.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
The wing.
Ooh.
Oh, that's got to land somewhere.
Fireworks show in the house tonight.
It's definitely not fireworks.
Nope.
It's just an explosion in the sky.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Now twist his nipples. Whoa.
Are you healing his
I think
eye?
she's healing him.
Oh.
Now you have to live in my debt.
Oh, the wall that looks
She's
like.
taking him back.
The painting, yeah. Just deal with your trouble.
Oh.
Angry hurt boy in him.
Wow.
Whoa, she's accepting of this.
It's to remind myself where I come from and what I have to do to get there. I am not who you want me to be!
That silhouette work is cool.
Whoa.
What'd you do? Huh? What did you do?
Whoa.
I'm not a bitch.
He's always been such a petulant child. It's so cool to see, like, the big baby have a tantrum and not, like...
Yeah, not get his way.
Ken, he was about to do that, like, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse killing move.
Yeah.
That big, amazing Spider-Man number 51st appearance of Kingpin.
The greatest compliment I could give this finale is that it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Sure. This is way better proportion than I expected. But
The butt will be reserved.
stay tuned for the butt.
So wearing the suit helps her get more in tune because of the threads in there?
I don't know if it's physical or mental, but it connects her. Like maybe looking at it, but it could also physically.
And I like kind of leaving that a little vague, actually. I think is kind of nice. In a time where it's like, you got to know the rules. I think it's actually kind of nice.
Because her grandma made it, which connects her, and it visually connects her. And it could also physically.
But then we had to hide under the bustles just to get through the crowd real quick, right?
Bonnie.
That one's
greatest
Bonnie.
character
Love Bonnie.
utilized throughout properly. All that build up with her.
I know so much about her.
Instead of going away, she's going to be going to the barbecue, and we're going to think she's leaving, but she's joining. We're going to get the Fast and Furious ending with the barbecue.
Come on, crack some Coronas.
Why are you ruining something so
I'm hoping that's what happens, Greg.
And then Scar's going to show up with Hulk.
Yes.
She's going to get... Yeah!
Hey.
You brought a lot of criminal activity here.
People did die.
Yeah, but she's the protector of Tamaha now. This one small town in Oklahoma.
What a formal hug.
Aww.
That was cool. It was the softest we saw her eyes in the whole show.
It feels like a collaboration.
Thank you, Kevin Feige.
Thank you, Kevin, for authoring all of this.
And Bob Feige.
Thanks to Stan Lee for coming up with the
Kevin's
Choctaw
brother,
Nation.
He's a time traveler. He's King the Conqueror.
Oh.
There's a skip credits option.
Oh, there's no post?
No,
post?
I'm saying no. A skip credits option
It means there is.
There's
a post.
probably a post.
Let's
pay
do
attention, John, to the rules.
Sorry. Which
pay
streaming
attention.
service are we on?
If there is no post credit, it just goes to a small
No,
box
yeah,
and
the
says, "Now
little
watch
box.
this other shit because you don't care."
Kingpin.
I want a meeting with all the remaining heads. We need to stabilize this situation before it spirals out of control.
Oh, my.
Heads. Race for mayor.
Oh,
become mayor.
yes.
It turns out most voters want somebody who is a fighter.
There are legitimate problems in the city right now, and the voters want somebody who understands the pain they're going through, who understands the frustration they're going through.
That's all you. There you go, man.
A bare-knuckled brawler would do well in this race, an outsider.
Mayor Fisk.
The question that remains for so many people, is that candidate
What are
even
they
out
hinting
there?
at?
There's no doubt it
Donald
is
Trump.
late in the process, but there's still a window of opportunity. That's what the poll is telling us. It could be anybody's race.
That is a fantastic way to set up Thunderbolts.
Wilson
that's so
Fisk
fun.
will run for mayor.
You make him mayor, you outlaw vigilantes like they do in the comics all the time, and
And
then
that's
the
what Daredevil-
Thunderbolts is all of that.
I think it's more Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, I think Daredevil as well, but Thunderbolts is also, like, I think it's going to be big ramifications. Young Avengers, Thunderbolts, Daredevil.
I don't think that's going to have anything to do with Thunderbolts.
We're
We'll
never
see.
going to see a resolve
gotta
or
get to it.
follow-up
I
on
don't
that
think
scene.
their new section of their TV shows for Marvel Spotlight are going to directly affect Thunderbolts.
I think X-Men need to be hated and feared, so we need to get superheroes on the outside.
Born Again is going to
None
be
of
a
your theories have come
political
true.
thriller
None of them,
about
ever.
Kingpin in the system.
Think so big, and scopic, and have more direction than what they're currently doing, but I'm telling you,
They
Quest,
should let me write.
it's not what's going to happen.
I'd be
It's
in
all
there.
set up Daredevil Born Again.
I'd be in there.
All I know is that if you want a private jet like Wilson Fisk,
Oh.
what's really important is that you start getting your finances in order now. If you learn how to handle your finances for today, then you could build a fortune for the future. And it all starts with knowing your bills.
Yeah.
And this is sage advice as I segue into our sponsor. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video, a brand that I am happy to be partnered with, thrilled to. It's fortunately one that I have been using for quite a while now, prior to ever agreeing to a partnership with them. I was like, that makes for the best kind of synergy promotion because I can actually talk about them from my heart here. Reason being, like many of you guys, like for years, I am constantly downloading all kinds of financial apps that I keep forgetting to use or I don't really find quite as beneficial. Rocket Money has been the one, the only one. I'm not just saying it is the only one that I have been able to consistently use, rely on, that has been an absolute game changer for me. On a very personal note, running Real Rejects is an absolute privilege. However, you know, like I stress out about taxes and it's the beginning of the year and I'm like, I'm trying to be smarter and get it all done now. I already started like a couple months ago getting things in order. Managing Real Rejects finances while managing my own personal finances has been an ongoing struggle, and I'm very big on like efficiency and being organized, but clearly it wasn't as good enough as I thought I had been. So before Rocket Money came into my life, I was drowning in subscriptions and struggling to keep track of my expenses. And as I really wanted to like get everything in order, Rocket Money came at the right time for me. I was overwhelmed with subscriptions. I didn't even know I I had or had still been subscribed to. I mean, do you ever wonder how many subscriptions you actually pay for? Have you ever taken the time to really do it? It can be a little daunting. Rocket Money helped me see what I was missing, and best part, they even canceled those subscriptions for me with just a simple tap. So with Rocket Money, you can have all your subscriptions in one place, making it easy to cancel anything unnecessary without the hassle of dealing with customer service. It's so annoying. Plus, they'll work on getting you refunds and negotiate lower bills, saving you up to 20%. You just snap a pic of your bill and let Rocket Money take care of the rest. Let me just summarize for you really quick what they are. They're a personal finance app that finds and cancels unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills. With over 5 million users and over $500 million in canceled subscriptions, they've already saved members an average of $720 a year. They've helped save me a little bit more than that. Don't waste your hard-earned money on unused subscriptions. Cancel them today at rocketmoney.com/rejects. That's rocketmoney.com/rejects. If you've heard other people talk about them, well, use ours. rocketmoney.com/rejects. Because if you use that promo code rejects, you unlock special benefits. And yes, using them is also a great way to support the channel. Same time, it's just a great way to support your bank account. Because I cannot stress enough just how much this app has changed the game for me. Take control of your finances with Rocket Money and enjoy financial peace of mind. Alrighty, guys. Well, if you're listening to Apple Spotify, we just watched Echo finale. We have not talked about it at all. Now, I just wanted to Google before going into this because I like this episode. I do. I sincerely do. I like it. I could feel some of the typical Disney Plus ending pitfalls that it most certainly fell into at certain points. And most importantly, I was like, I really got the sense. This is the first time I could feel the behind the scenes in a different way, just having an understanding of shit that went down. Coy, my man, why every time someone else is talking, you just freaking like it is not a toy. Every time, just freaking. Well, I'm not talking, so let me just. This isn't making any noise, is it?
It was brushing against my goatee, so I was like, I'm gonna move it.
Every what if episode, every what if episode just Greg's talking. Let me just really adjust the shit out of this right now.
That's content, baby.
Anyway.
You were saying
there's like little ways you could adjust it without. Let me just grab every part of it.
We have all the tracks. And Coy knows that we can just go in and mute that part, and it won't take any extra effort or separation or create any potential confusion.
Editing is the easiest part of our jobs. Everyone knows it. Oh, I'm sorry. Hands free.
Anyway, so what was we talking about?
Episodes. Finale.
We were getting into what the original plan for the episodes was, despite how this finale turned out.
Yes. Yeah. The behind the scenes experience was like, I could feel it they so obviously had more in the can here. And the impression I got was this really smart, conscientious choice I could feel on the filmmaker's end. I have to defend it. For all we know, like theoretically 8 episodes, the 8 are terrible. They had to trim it. I don't know what the reasoning was. The smart choice I felt of them to do was that, okay, we are being forced to cut this down. How do we make up for that? Let's at least have a consistent tone. Let's at least have a consistent mood, a consistent atmosphere. That way we can at least have some sense of uniformity by the time we reach the finale, where some of this stuff probably would have worked a little bit better if, things that had more time to breathe, or if they had more time to develop something or dive in. And maybe you don't feel this way. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, oh, I thought it was great. It was perfect. Everything was there. Maybe you feel that way. That's cool if you do. I personally was able to get this sense on almost everything that went down of, there probably was more of a better build to most of these things that happened. And even like fight scene moments getting shortened. certain parts, but there were still so many things in here that I was impressed with the choice. When they wanted to be emotional about it, it was very emotional. Like the scene with her mom was great. Originally Bonnie, but then her mom.
What a strange choice. So, like, we're all connected. We're going to change actresses
Even
mid-moment.
when Bonnie showed up, I was like, no, in my mind, they do look. I'm not saying they all look. Say specifically those two. I feel like
they both have very gentle eyes.
I'm gonna slightly give them. You might be like, no, they don't, Greg. Go ahead, engage in the comments. Helps the video out. In my opinion, I was like, no, I mean, come on. I didn't see their faces that much on screen. Even though we just saw the mom in a flashback earlier in the episode, so whatever, clown on me all you want. I still thought there was great emotionality there when she dons the suit, the representation of the Choctaw Nation in terms of this festival. I thought was great. Even the scene when she confronts Wilson Fisk and the barn and how it was in her POV and then Wilson Fisk and his memory core, I could still sense. Yeah, you could definitely feel the trimmings, though, on almost everything that was happening.
This episode felt like it was grabbing pieces of a lot of threads.
And I could feel like it wasn't their fault.
Oh,
if that makes, that's in summary, it seemed like they had to go, what can we make count the most? And how do we make this feel still like a package is complete?
Redemption for biscuits. Like, I feel like there was like a lot of background characters that didn't get to become foreground characters as much as they would have. Like, some of the supporting cast felt fully fleshed out, but some didn't. And I feel like they might have been. I definitely noticed the scene of her like on the motorcycle in completely different gear than running in the house, and I was like, what scene happened between that? Like, that could have been a whole day.
Or they just like it probably just lasted longer in some fashion.
Something I think
showing up,
must
taking
have-
the gun, and letting tension simmer instead of just cut to
running in the house, different clothes, and I think that made the last episode feel a little, lesser. But I do like that it didn't just end with a punch out fully. I did like the visual representation of the echoes of her ancestry. I really loved the emotional through line of music and like the way the sound design blended with her heartbeat in that scene, but then also at the end scene. I really liked what we set up with a new emotionality in Fisk through how she healed in some way him, maybe. We don't know. I thought it overall worked, but it worked more on camera than what it felt like with behind the camera.
Okay, so according to the reports that we have here, and like Disney and Feige never affirm all these things. So they found parts of the film material unreleasable due to various production challenges. I can see that. Was this filmed during COVID?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still happening.
I would have to imagine.
You know what I mean?
When it was like at the height of
the
restrictions
pandemic,
and protocols.
And the episode count adjustments, they were trying to figure out how to fix it in 4 to 6 episodes. They said, let's meet in the middle at 5. And they reshot a significant portion of the series. So that's the part. I'm not sure. I can't look at this footage. Sometimes you can tell. And to me, I'm not sure, like, where was the reshoot? I don't know. So they I feel like they seamlessly blended stuff, whereas like other shows they've done, you're like, oh no, something went wrong here, or they did not plan this out, or they were forced to make this longer, And it is odd that they would take, especially for one that wants to honor the Netflix shows that came prior.
I think that might have been decided later. I'm wondering how much of this got R-rated up, and how much was filmed in the beginning.
Not that R-rated.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much did they add?
This felt TV-14.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they decided, like, hey, we'd like to mature up blank. Let's have Echo be that gateway, like later on.
Sure.
I'm really curious when that decision was made, because I do think there was maybe some kickback from Hawkeye, and they were like, what if the Kingpin is going to be the Netflix Kingpin now? And then they like judged up Echo.
Well, they say filmed material unreleasable. It does make me curious what that unreleased, like, it's strange to talk about this one because, especially for our end, because we'll see what's like behind the scenes production problems that you could feel, or like some shit went down here. I could tell. And,
but I didn't feel it until the finale.
And I didn't know all these details until now. And for all I know, these details are just rumors, but it certainly feels, the sense you get is that certainly seems, especially
we didn't even know what happened to Henry after. There's clearly stuff cut.
Even from 1 through 4, I was already like, there's no way they can wrap this shit up in 5, and there's no way they can flesh out things they were building up and put a proper cap on that or stamp on that. And even to a certain extent, like I like the intention and the choice of the echoing through the lineage. That seemed obvious. It was like, I think from
That's the character.
I think from episode 2, you're like, yeah, no, the whole lineage, right? That's what's happening, and it's all echoing through. And I like the specificity of what each person represented. I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure,
didn't either. That was cool.
What exactly is like, why? Why are we focusing on that?
And it played with the comic mythos in a way that felt like it was very approachable. Like, this doesn't feel like you're missing out on reading it, but it also, if you like this character, you should read it, because there is more in the David Mack, Joe Quesada version. So I do think they nodded to her power set in a fun way that leaves it open to diving into more without feeling like, oh, I'm missing out.
What was your character arc, John? Lay it out for the audience.
Who, Echo's character arc?
Yeah.
She learned a bit about who she actually is. She learned to let go of some of that ingrained rage and the chip on her shoulder, and she learned how to begin to embrace, process, and let go of pain, and that is demonstrated in the ending scene with Kingpin as she encourages him to try and do the same, because she recognizes herself as part of an ongoing cycle of violence and hurt and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
And, she fights a couple times, too. She gets a new prosthetic leg.
Yeah, I still think there was a arc. Guys, we just had Secret Invasion. I mean, we didn't just have Secret. It's just
well,
the last bad show we had was Secret Invasion.
That was the last show we had.
That was like 9 months ago.
I said the last bad one.
Yeah.
What if
Loki was?
Right. Loki was so
and What If
exceptional,
were good ones.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Loki was after. This is funny. Secret Invasion feels so much longer ago because of how not great it was.
Yeah, time is so weird with that show.
That is a thing about this, and lately Marvel. The biggest issue about any Marvel thing to me lately has been the modularity and the fact that you can now tell that they are so accustomed to orchestrating their art in a way that can be picked apart and re-orchestrated, and again, I keep using the word modular because it does feel like you can just try to pull this piece out and jam another piece in there.
I think they might have had a harder time with this one because they shot on location, because they didn't have like some big CGI realm to work with where they can just manipulate and redo shit.
Like,
all
oh
the
wait,
time.
shit, to film this.
Like, oh no, we have to work with the footage we have.
We have to have a director have a vision.
But
Loki worked that way. Sorry, yeah. But,
Loki had no reshoots.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and I think that does speak highly to why this works, despite that, to the degree that it does, because of all the things lately that I've felt that about, and I've felt that about Marvel stuff that I've liked and disliked. Like, the Marvels is super fun, but it feels like it's been, hacked to pieces and stuff has been pulled out and jammed in and all that other stuff. And this, I think, by having it be so tangible, so ground level, and so based on its time, place, and location, that forces you to be a bit more considerate and a little less kind of flippant, I get the sense, or a little less fussy. Like, you have to commit and give the time it takes to go out and get that stuff in a way that you probably can't when you're just relying all on green screens and all on volumes and all on how do we have the most control over this without making it as tangible as it could be. And this, I think, managed. And I think it's also to the credit of especially whoever was directing and editing these things. Like, I have to imagine that all those writer credits probably had to do with taking the original stuff, truncating it down, and props to them as well. Like, I feel like this is an example of something that, as you said, could have been way worse and could have felt like so much more of a hack job. And I bet it was hard to put together, but they do manage to make the most out of what they have better than a lot of the other stuff I've seen lately is by at least going, what works best here, and how can we play into that in a way that at least sings immediately during the episode. Maybe we can't really clinch the totality of it all, but even so, I thought they managed to bring it. I like that they went against the big battle at the end, because they brought it to a place where I'm like, for the size and scope that these 5 episodes can give us, I think that's actually a pretty striking way to do this, and everything they bothered to include is great, and my only note is just like, great, go deeper, let it breathe more.
We definitely talked about the mysticism being something we were worried about the entire time, and I wasn't bothered by it. I really was impressed that like slow trickle, and then episode 4 brought it a bit heavier, and then 5, like, it got mystic, but it never felt overbearing. Yeah, and like the wind they brought in, the sound design.
The mysticism isn't to deliver. The mysticism isn't in service of a bigger, badder punch.
Right.
Like
it's the opposite. And
it's to tap into his spirit.
Right. Hashtag powers were great.
Yeah, it is a weird viewing experience. I'm gonna keep bringing it back to, like, especially for our end.
Yeah.
as people who have the camera pointed at us constantly when we're watching these things and are giving our opinions in the middle of the viewing experience and being aware of production things and yada yada yada, that we are also factoring in prior Marvel viewing experiences to this, admittedly, instead of just solely taking it on what it was. Like, I don't know what the realm is of watching this without hearing any. I mean, like, you don't need a. This is one of those shows where the only thing you really need to see is Hawkeye.
Even then, they kind of did the revamp in episode 1.
You have like a basic understanding of the MCU, but you know, like, but because we've been watching so much of this, we tend to know how it goes. So much to the point that when the suit shows up, you're like, okay, when's the big fight gonna happen at the carnival? And then bam, she's gonna show up, superhero landing in her suit. We're gonna have a big pose in the music, and the way they just introduced her like that, I was so surprised by how simple yet more profound it actually was.
It felt way more powerful.
Yeah, there was more weight to it. So I got to give it to them that they knew how to make certain moments really count. And I feel like they were up against that challenge. I don't know who the filmmakers are. I can't tell you their names. I don't know what they look like. I don't know who they are that made this series. But I certainly got that impression that they constantly had to make that choice. In this episode, what do we make count? How do we make it count? I really think they were up against an editing obstacle here.
I'm really curious who the official word of why the show was so bad was, because years ago we heard unreleasable, and then months ago we heard like they're just going to can it. Then we were like, ooh, delayed.
This is
and
so much better than a bunch of other shit we've seen.
Not most, a lot of.
The worst I could say is that like at times it's mid. You know,
but the finale rushed in it, and it skimps a little on characterization.
Talking about the show as a whole,
the finale is better than a lot of the finales Disney Plus has put out.
That's the thing. It's like,
and that's the one we all are iffy on. Episode 4 was better than a lot of Disney Plus stuff. Period. Hard stop. And I kept hearing how bad this was. Hard disagree. I don't understand.
Hard disagree. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, look, guys, we've been. I can't tell you what's happened with the amount of times we've gotten shit and people show up in my, you know, you're pissing off people when you're constantly getting like, oh, now my patrons are messaging me. Oh, now I'm getting people hitting me on social media about something I said on YouTube, you know?
Yeah, when people cross platforms, you know you pissed them off. Like, I believe this. I'm going to go over here.
And that's never stopped us. We'll still be honest about it. So we're told we're hate or we're whatever.
I'm a misogynist.
And I don't give a shit. Like, I was ready. The part of me was ready to rip into this if it really was bad, and instead I had a completely different viewing experience. Like I said, it's in terms of like the episodes, it's not like one of my favorite. I feel like it got better as it went. This show, like 4 was, I felt like the show just progressively got better as it went. So I would probably stack it somewhere between like 1 and 2. I put it above 2. Yeah, I put this episode above 2, even though I think 2 is definitely a better story and flows better.
It had moments of weight I liked a lot.
Yeah, this is like, the moments that worked really worked for me.
That visual was so cool, and it definitely felt like David Mack art, which is something I was looking forward to because he's an artist. I have a wall of his art in my place. You guys haven't seen it, but I have a literal like. David Mack's one of my favorite artists in comics. It's the one right behind my door next to the comics. Have you seen that? You must have seen it. But I've got a wall of David Mack art.
We've been in your place.
I know that, but I mean, it's behind the door. I don't know if you.
I investigated every inch.
I have assessed, but I have a wall of David Mack art, and I was really looking forward to some of those style choices he makes. Like, he's a very visual storyteller. He's a painter. He's a kabuki artist, and there was some of that here in really wonderful ways. Like the handprint is obviously the most obvious of the mirroring, but the way some of the line work moved felt like a painting, and the way the mirroring of all them through the echo felt like different paint palette colors and like different like style. It was really cool to see a comic that I think flows in a really painted way, in a way that feels really unique, translate. And I got a lot out of that. And he was super hands-on with this project. Like, I know to the point where Vincent D'Onofrio's book he wrote is illustrated by David Mack. They became friends through this production. Like, he was very hands-on, and it showed for me. So from the behind-the-scenes statement of a comic person, this was really delightful.
Yeah, you know, our job is just to keep being honest with ourselves. That's really what we do. It's just be honest with ourselves and then convey that. And you know, like through the experiences of many of the Marvel, Star Wars, the 2 main IPs when it comes to Disney, there's been plenty of times like I'm enjoying a show, and then I see on social media some people are talking about it, or some other videos are a little
now
bit
you
more
understand my
negative on
rants.
it. And then what will happen is like sometimes I wouldn't say it influences it. Sometimes it'll put something into words of an issue I was having that I couldn't quite articulate, just like I can't articulate the word articulate. I couldn't quite articulate. And so I would so sometimes I would say, I'd be like, yes, that's what it is, and then suddenly I'm seeing it a little bit more because now I'm like, now I see how to formulate and I thought. From everything I was seeing from Echo, I'm like, okay, is that what's going to happen with me now? And it didn't. I knew my opinion really well on this prior, and I normally do. I knew my opinion on this pretty well. And I thought, like, okay, here's where my agreement is going to come in with all them haters. And the worst I personally feel is that at times the show is mid. The times where I feel like it gets bad is when something is not breathing well enough. But and the writing... I'm like, this is a hard show to judge the writing on when it's like been chopped and hacked. But they let enough important scenes breathe to where I would times would be like, good writing. And the acting was just so goddamn good.
The acting, I cannot get over, especially for me, the Henry guy, where he was acting with his body, his voice, and his ASL. I was so transfixed by all of his acting. Like all three of those modes were at 11.
Grandma for me, man.
Oh, 100%. Well, and that's the prevailing sense that I am feeling about this overall is like, even if it doesn't get to fully reach the potential that it, posits it's clearly capable of, more so than a lot of Marvel lately, I felt the care and attention that went into
1000%. There was a fervor there, for sure.
Yeah, and just like the amount of like true consideration, and especially as we've touched upon, like with the cultural element, Disney itself has perpetrated so many examples of like, here's how to tack this on in a disingenuous way. And here it really felt, I liked your point about the powwow and the fact that you're cutting between the ceremony and also stuff that's happening in the barn. And you're using a set piece in a way you kind of expect to raise tension and to use the, lively colors and everything and all the noise, to kind of, raise the tension. But it doesn't play out the way you expect it to, and it does create this sort of hypnotic just moment where, like the plot shit's still happening, but you also get to live in the duality of the scene and of the culture and of the, aura, the vibe, and it lends this sort of spiritual just air to the, sci-fi shit that's about to happen in the bar. Like, and it's one of those things that I don't think that you could have made a product as a final, product as, at all the things that this excels at. Without that care, I don't think it would have happened. And I feel tremendous amounts of care from all the craftsmanship on every creative level.
We said that in the first episode a lot too. We were acknowledging the filmmaking in it being so strong.
Like it's clear that it wants to spend time in this place and making these characters an ensemble. And it's like it gets. Like every aim it sets out to achieve, it gets part of the way there at least.
And I got nothing against Oklahoma, but this is the most I ever wanted to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Like I just never thought of it. Like I've traveled as much as I can, and I've never been like Oklahoma. And now I'm like Oklahoma.
Yeah,
may I briefly please explain this ending, just because I think there are some
what
people.
I wanted you to get to. I got some video production to do. So
Okay, so
let's go.
The ending, the post-credit scene, which is going to be something everybody's talking about because that's how these things go. They look to the next thing. On the micro scale, I think at minimum, Greg is right with this leading into Daredevil. I do think that the new Daredevil show will have something to do with Mayor Fisk. Fisk has been mayor in the comics a number of times. He only recently was dethroned by Luke Cage. Currently, Luke Cage is mayor in the comic books, and he is working against Fisk's old jurisdiction. So basically, he's dealing with a last-term leader, and he's trying to get through all of his bureaucracy and red tape. So in the current comic books, being a vigilante is illegal. Being Miss Marvel's illegal. Being Spider-Man's illegal. Anyone wears a mask illegal. And there's a team of heroes that are government property, basically. And Hawkeye leads a team of Thunderbolts trying to get that to be okay and to get people on the side of heroes again. That's, I think, the micro. I don't think that Daredevil's going to have all that. I'm just saying I think Daredevil will be about it being illegal to be a hero and that starting to shift things. Fisk having power in New York. Him getting the strong arm over Hell's Kitchen, New York City. All those elements, I think, are the small. On the macro, if they go hard, this could be Daredevil, Spider-Man 4, Thunderbolts, and leading to X-Men. This is tinfoil hat coin now. I gave you a little one. This is a big one. Now, this could be...
I could see going to Spider-Man.
I definitely think it's going to Spider-Man.
I factor into Spider-Man way more than Thunderbolts.
So I think we're going to get Thunderbolts to be a team that is bad guys that are not actually that bad, that do something horrendous and realize they messed up, and then they're revealed as villains to heroes. I think that'll be an element there. And I think it'd be great to have in the background New York have a villain as the leader and the heroes be seen as villains. That way you tie into those elements. So it might not be as directly as I think I'm saying, but I think setting up the MCU to have a distrust to heroes leads to a world that hates and fears the X-Men. Spider-Man 4, I think, needs to have something where the unmasking in Spider-Man 2 didn't land anything, because by the time we got to Spider-Man 3, they were like, he's hunted. No, he's not. No Way Home. And that's the one thing about No Way Home I wish I could change was it was originally supposed to be a Kraven story. Originally, Kraven was supposed to be hunting Spider-Man because he revealed his identity and they get him to basically be on the run. I think Spider-Man 4 could be that again, where he's not with the Avengers. He doesn't know any of them. Fisk is mayor. And this way you could tell that same story they wanted to, but on a smaller scale, finally have the more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, have Kingpin as a villain, which D'Onofrio has been very vocal about wanting, have Daredevil as a compatriot, but not in a really big way, so it still stays a Spider-Man movie. And if all of that works, and that does tie in together, this is a great way to reboot the universe overall. Captain America 4, they're doing all these tons of reshoots. I think that's going to be basically having the super soldier element that lands later on into Thunderbolts set up in a new way. And I think overall, having Mayor Fisk is how you do a more Emperor Palpatine Kang, where he is the thread that ties everything in together. He's a character that's overarching, but not in a way that needs a lot of screen time or a lot of explanation. Mayor Fisk is, I think, a genius move for street level and higher leading to Secret Wars.
I mean, there's one thing for sure, he's playing Mayor Fisk.
That's happening.
They made that abundantly
they
clear.
Said Mayor 18 times. We need someone that fights, someone that's brutal.
I fight.
I'm brutal.
I should audition.
Mayor. But I also like the different emotionality on his face. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, if there's one thing I'm really happy about, is just like Vincent D'Onofrio. It's way better here than it was in Hawkeye. That's for sure.
Jeez.
and the ending they gave him is a very interesting direction, because it wasn't like he just gets his ass whooped and then I'll do something. It's like
he kind of runs away.
There's an opportunity to face the trauma, and it's like that was so scary for him.
Yeah,
that he had to get away from her,
and that's a reasonable cause for
Yeah.
him to not. Yeah, just come back and be like, well, I'm going to kill you again when I regroup.
Yeah,
you know, like
she can take me out in a different way entirely.
I mean, so I'm not even going to mess with her.
And now he goes back to New York and he's like, I'm a broken, wounded animal. Like an animal in a corner is the scariest thing. Now he is again.
And that pain that he holds on to is one of the things that allows him to propel to the heights that he does. You know, like some people, it's that age-old thing about like tortured artists, you know, feeling like they need their pain in order to be a great artist.
Or a great murderer.
Are you torturing John for his art?
No, I'm saying
he needs the pain. I can't. I'm just trying to have
I'll
the
happily
pain.
be pain-free.
I'm trying to get the big...
I'll happily shed the
There's that tortured artist line.
I mean, I love everything's great. Optimist Prime over here. Autobots rollout.
Last week we made fun of Coy. Or last episode we made fun of Coy. Now it's John's turn.
If I could be happy, I would. I'm John.
I don't think he's
Eeyore. A deep void of sadness exists within, and I keep throwing stuff into it, and I just did, it chucks some things out, it swallows some things
Stephen
up.
Young's not playing the void anymore.
One day we'll John, you should deal with your pain, man.
It's like, nah, I got. And he's gonna LA apartment it. More white
pain, and I go.
I logically understand the pain. It's the part of like
I can assess it. I can acknowledge it. It's over there.
You go.
This is therapy talk at the Real Rejects After Dark. Yeah.
Like Taboo. Midnight Taboo.
Like the Tom Hardy show?
No.
Oh, like the
Just
concept
like
of something being
general.
taboo?
No, the game. The board game.
There's a game?
Yeah,
Oh, with the face.
Nope, that's not the game.
Oh, there's a game called Taboo. I think it's got a little face, little guy, and he's like, it's like, don't say it. Taboo. Is that not the game?
Oh, is that
it's
the
the
cover
face on
of
the
box? Oh, I thought you were saying like there's a.
No.
All right, guys, what'd you think about Echo?
What do you think about Taboo? Game,
leave your
show,
thoughts down below.
concept?
Rapper in the Black Eyed Peas.
Are you excited to see Echo join
Red Spider-Man?
Avengers Secret Wars now? Insane powers are in this. This is one thing they did not really demonstrate. That's just going to do.
He didn't get a grenade in the
to
face.
defeat Doctor Doom. She's going to be like, let's look at your trauma.
Yeah.
Can't hear your face, but I'll heal your trauma.
Let's go to platform 9 3/4 and talk this out.
She did learn Quidditch.
Yeah, that's true.
She's powerful.
I'm excited.
But yeah, but I believe her is still like a street level with some embellishments.
Yeah, they didn't go like big freaking finale fight scene here. Like it could have been that.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't. I could see her in Daredevil Netflix-esque easy.
Well, it subtly brings in the idea of like faith healer, you know.
Oh, but people are still going to do like overpowered.
Oh, guaranteed.
Mary Sue.
She learned how to heal quickly. That's not
How'd
real.
she get her powers? She was born.
Yep.
That is actually, yeah,
How
what
she
they're
got her
telling. That is what
powers.
they're
Yeah,
telling us.
But you know, she had to unlock them over time and be empowered to understand what they even mean.
But how? But she didn't do anything to unlock them.
She
It's
didn't go through a training
generational
montage.
trauma. It's
The training
generational
montage was her
trauma.
life.
There was nothing.
The training
really,
montage was her life.
She didn't really do anything to unlock them.
That's
Hashtag.
fair. She should have gone to Camartage.
Like when Denzel. Why did I say Denzel?
Training
It's
day?
Daredevil.
Oh yes. Hey, Denzel Daredevil. I'll take it.
I was watching listening to some
Denzel.
random video late last night about like how Denzel and Tarantino didn't get along for many years, and then they had to squash their beef. And apparently Denzel's been outspoken about it. And I was like, because at first I thought it was just some like stupid gossip thing, and then I was like, oh, what is it, like a real thing? So it's kind of been on my mind, like, oh damn, no wonder we never got Denzel and Tarantino to work together.
Yeah, Vendetta.
Is it for the obvious reason or another reason?
I'd assume.
No, a very obvious, very different reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Get to Googling.
Guys, thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Thank you to Denzel for squashing the beef with Tarantino.
And for being awesome.
Do you guys think that Mayor Fisk is going to affect Avengers Secret Wars like how Coy is predicting? Hey, let's listen to the Patron of the Day shout out. Flev Doran, it is 2024. We have entered the year of Flev's shout out.
Ooh.
And dude, I know what your resolution is going to be. It is to run across nude on live television for WW, whatever the initial is now.
WW Wrestling.
Yes, you are going to do it while Dwayne The Rock Johnson's out there and he's like, I'm able to multitask. I can do Moana and make a TV show and promote all that while still doing wrestling full time because I don't sleep. And then bam, you just run across naked.
Cheeks flapping.
Flapping and all right in front of him. And then what does he do? He gives you the smackdown on your bottom. And he's like, and that's why I'm here to give you all the best ass smacking
of a real candy ass
of them all. Yeah.
Real. I don't care what your name is. Turn that ass to the people.
So Flev, man, you are gonna be just the most popular name in all of wrestling. Once people identify like, who's that jackass running on television? Flev Doran, patron of the Real Rejects.
Who's that ass?
But
running across.
Don't worry, we're gonna protect you, Bible censorship style. You're gonna run across with a leaf, making sure it stays on. You are covered.
Industrial grade glue.
Because a butt, you can change shape, size, whatever. You know, that is kind of permanent situation, centerpiece. So we will cover that with a leaf, not open you up to judgment. Anyway, Flev, we love you, and
we really do love you, as evidenced by this.
2024 ends up being a immaculate year for you, man. You're a great guy with a huge schlong. It's going to be really hard to hide with
find one of those giant oak leaves.
Yeah, you're going to get a leaf blower. Oh, buddy, Flev, you naughty dog, you.
Put that thing away.
Flev, stop it. Seriously, you're going to get us demonetized. You piece of shit. What are you doing, you asshole?
You ass.
You're being a jerk.
Yep.
You're being a jerk, Flev. Anyway, Flev, love you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.